What's up, friendos, and welcome into Leading Off the Wednesday, September 27th edition. Peanuts, Cracker Jacks, they're in the chat. That's Casey Bubba. Right to my left, kind of your visual right, you guys can see on Twitter at BDintric. I am the Welsh. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And it is championship week, baby. Like Jacob said, let's ride. Broncos Nation, let's ride. Rockies Nation, let's ride. We're going to do the stuff and things in the second to last episode, season finale coming up on Friday. Oh my God. But there were some big performances. Streaming pitchers this week have been wild. We're going to give you a few more for Thursday and Friday. We got some bets. I got a bet that I love so much that I wish we were 30 minutes even earlier, because that bet went from a plus 125 to a minus money number in a matter of 20 minutes. We'll tell you what that is. We got PrizePicks because this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Use that promo code leading off. Get hooked up a 100% match up to $100. That, if you are wondering, is free money. And that is a great deal. So go and check them out today. We can PrizePicks because that same bet is also in my PrizePicks. So we'll do that. Bubba, how we doing, brother? We're down to the final 3 days. I cannot freaking believe it. What are those last little grinds looking like for you?
We're doing well. Luckily, I don't do any daily leagues, so I set it on Monday, and I'm just crossing my fingers, and I'll reset some of my NPC lineups for the bats at least on Friday. But it's a lot of watching live standings change and going from first to third to second, back to third to first. It's all over the board. It's a roller coaster of emotions right now, as they would say.
That's how it goes. I didn't even check my best balls. My best balls are where it's at. My big important leagues were into the championship week fails, which have definitely disappointed me. But a lot of you are doing great. Josh was in the chat saying, I'm currently in a championship with a 488 to 214 point lead. I think you're looking, I don't want to jinx it.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe you had Elly, or maybe you had Soto. We're going to talk about those guys going.
See, Elly woke up a little bit. That was nice.
Yeah, except for General Luke, who said I benched Elly yesterday. Ooh, woof. Also, going on a cheap plug over to the ITL Fantasy Baseball Pod that I think will be dropping tomorrow. We're doing that early mock that's been going on, and I should have checked where Elly has been going, because I'm very curious to dissect. Also, wanting to dissect like the draft you guys did, the Rob DiPietro one, with like mine, and kind of seeing where the big differences end up being. You know what I mean?
Elly went the third pick of round 2, pick 18 overall.
He went 18 overall in yours?
Yep.
Okay, I'm looking at mine now. Elly, I think Elly went later because of the struggles. Yeah, Elly went the 8th pick in the 3rd round. So in 15 team math, that would be 43. So that's
more doable for me. This 18th overall, not a chance, even before.
Well, but I think you guys were like a month ago.
But even before the struggles, I was never going to be in on that. 43, we're starting to get in the wheelhouse of interesting.
I think mid-3rd round sounds like Elly, right?
That's fair. I can get behind that at least.
Yeah, well, and jumping into the headlines, we'll actually jump right over to that. The reason we're talking so much about Elly, he went 3 for 5, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, which now gives him 13 homers and 33 stolen bases on the year, which is both impressive and then also like a little down if you think about it, because there's been a lot of negativity towards the batting average and just the inconsistencies of Elly. He's been up for a decent amount of time, but you also look at those pure numbers. 13 and 33 over an entire season is pretty good. Then you start to play the extrapolating game, and Elly's in another world. He hit 460. I think he had another 119 max EV. So, I mean, the pure power is on display. It is truly, with Elly, just about making consistent contact, exactly like we talked about with O'Neal Cruz. And I hate to do that, because I think that's kind of like, sometimes we're being stupid and cheap comps. We're like, oh, look, these big 6 foot, and it's just like the same. We're trying to just make the players. Yeah, we're trying to make them the same player, but the similarities are eerie. Yeah, they are eerie with it. The strikeout numbers, 34% with Elly right now. But to end hot is a pretty important thing. He's hitting, well, actually, he's not really ending hot these last couple of games. 192 this month, 198 last month, 238 in July, and 307 in June. So it has been a pretty stark teardown, and he's going to have to learn to hit lefties, because he's hitting 185 against lefties. But I think 3rd round seems about the place that Elly's going to go for next year. And I think you agree.
That seems pretty much about right, especially if he somehow finishes strong this weekend. People will remember that in a big way.
Yeah, the last week or two can mean so much to players' value. In all the breakdowns we're gonna do, I mean, think about where Michael King has been, and
oh man,
last month is going to do to his value. Outside of a lot of us, yeah, I said this a month ago. When I start to dig in, I'm excited to dig into him because he's going to be a sleeper. He's not a sleeper. It's just not a sleeper anymore because he's been so good towards the back half of the year. It's going to have ruined and kind of taken that off the table, ruined in the best possible way I can tell everybody.
I heard a fun comparison with Michael King. He's like this year's Justin Steele, where he finished the season strong and it moved him up draft boards just enough where people are actually interested in him now. Instead of a sleeper, he's on the radar from maybe pick 120 to 170, something like that type player.
Yeah, completely agree. Some other performance we're actually going to talk about Michael King and a few others here in just a little bit, but want to talk about Juan Soto. That was actually the lead for today. Juan Soto went 3 for 4, had a couple homers on Tuesday, now hitting 276, which is very impressive. If you paid attention to his line a month ago or even 2 weeks ago, he has a career high 35 homers, over 100 RBI, and 10 stolen bases in just under 700 plate appearances. But, Bub, I don't know if you paid attention to this. In the month of September, 10 of those 35 homers with a 360 batting average, and half of his stolen bases have come in this month. So Juan Soto is ending out the season wildly hot. And on top of it all, there are rumors that the Padres are going to listen on trades for Juan Soto. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have just found number 2 in the biggest conversation piece in the offseason. Where's Ohtani go? And where is Juan Soto going to get traded? And everyone is going to make their case of the prospects they can trade to get Juan Soto.
And it's not 2 things. Amazing finish by Soto, proving once again, the slow start, kind of battling injuries that were reported. He's so close to having a monster season. He's still so young. The talent is there. It's going to be interesting. It's not just Soto. They're talking about cutting their payroll from 255 to 200 million. So Soto's going to be gone. They have Snell's obviously gone, so that's going to be an interesting one. Where's the NL Cy Young winner go? But they're going to probably have to move another piece that's under contract. And if they want to get to the 200 million part, so that's
what is that? You can't move Darvish, you can't move Machado. You're just not going to be able. You're not going to be able to. Who's are they going to just give them? They're going to do the giveaway thing.
Your other storyline, Mike Trout wants to go. There's a lot of moving parts that want to go for high dollars right now.
I think it's Hader goes because I don't think Hader will go. Hader will go
with the drama of the past week. Hader will be gone.
Soto will go, and then maybe they'll dump another thing here or there. But at the end of the day, they're not going to put themselves in a situation where they don't still have superstars. They build this up. They traded away so much. They've got some more depth in the minor leagues. Eno and Sarah and I were just talking about the Arizona Fall League rosters, which are not great, which I've mentioned. And they've got a couple pieces. Specifically, we're talking about this one guy, Graham Pauley, who I'm interested in. 2020 season, but some higher strikeout rates. And that is kind of one of those pieces that they love to trade, that they would probably would end up moving. That, maybe what they're going to do is they're going to package him in, or they're going to get these salary dumps out, and then they're going to make a couple more aggressive trades because Jackson Merrill can start getting work this year. And maybe, I don't know if Bogarts goes, but even if you were to get rid of Hader and Soto, you still have Machado, you still have Bogarts, you still have Darvish, you still got your big pieces, but they need pitching help. That's going to be the really big one. So those are the speculative ones. I got texts about the Darvish thing with why he'll be a Chicago Cub. And there was a lot of Cub ones that I was getting PCA going, and we'll see where that ends up. But
dream big, people, dream big. Get Matt Mervis. There you go.
But I think everybody has to remember, at least if I'm incorrect, I'm pretty sure Soto's a free agent after this year. So
yeah, Soto's got a 1-year deal.
You're not going to get
trading for 1 year. You're not going to get the King's ransom.
You're not going to get PCA. You're not going to get anything huge.
Unless he agrees to a new contract as part of a sign and trade, like you see in the NBA. It ain't happening.
Where do you think Soto belongs in the draft for next year?
Back into the first round still.
He went 11 in the early mock that we're
just
doing.
Because he has so much upside, it's stupid upside. I will say this much though: in the early DC we did, he went pick 4 of round 3.
Pick 4. Wow, really?
Yeah, that's pick 34 overall because the struggles were real then.
Yeah, I mean, really again, real. half his stolen bases have come this month, and then he's had whatever that math would end up being, like
the great James Anderson got him to go with Julio Rodriguez and Emmanuel Clase. So not a bad start for James Anderson. It's
a pretty good group, especially getting Soto back there. Couple other just interesting performances yesterday. Christian Walker homered twice, had a double. He drove in 6. He drove in the most. And I've been staring at him in this early mock draft. He's one of those guys, man, when you don't pay for the elite players around the 5th, 6th round, it doesn't feel like you should take him, but that's where he's going to go, if not earlier. When you're going to end up looking at the monstrous numbers, it's going to be a mid 30, high run, high RBI, good batting average. Again, Christian Walker is going to walk in as one of the more underrated. Now, sometimes we get into dangerous territory when we're like, oh, I don't want the elite guys because I can go and get, a Christian Walker later. We said that about Abreu this year, and that didn't work out, or Vinny Pasquantino, and that didn't work out. But Christian Walker is going to be a very popular homer power chase piece, probably post like 75 in draft, something like that.
Yep. He went with the 13th pick around 5 in our deal. So almost carry the 2, almost it's like pick 72. It's not bad.
Carry the 2. Let me see where he went here.
Yeah. So but I agree. I love Christian Walker. He was a big time winner for people a couple of years ago. Got the bump a bit in drafts this year. It's just kind of proving that 1 year was kind of a rough go for Christian Walker. The talent's legit. Teams getting better around him. So I love Christian Walker. I'm with you. It'll be interesting though. Like when you look at it, is it going to be feasible to pay that price? Because Goldie's fallen so much. You got Bellinger. You got some other first baseman going around that make it interesting.
Well, 9th pick in the 6th round for Christian Walker. I think that's still pretty good. That's like, I don't know what the hell pick that is. I can't carry any math right now, but it's a good number. I think it's a pretty decent number for the production that you're getting. Also, this is a guy that's going to rocket up boards, but you just wonder if there's going to still be a half decent discount. Nolan Jones hit his 19th homer of the year, 289. He's going to be walking out right around 19 stolen bases, 19 homers, 17 stolen bases in around 400 plate appearances, which you all can carry some math there. That's going to equate to a relative projected 25-25 season in Colorado, hitting in a primary spot. It's going to be hard for us to not love, all of us love Nolan Jones next year. It's just going to be, where does the number end up settling at? If it's post 150, because not everybody's caught in. Yeah, exactly. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Yeah, I'll dream for a post 150. I just don't know, because the sharps will be on top of this one. I have so many shares of Nolan Jones in draft champions and best ball formats. I was on him out the gate. It's been glorious at rostering him this season, but it's going to be tough. I think that ADP is going to creep up to more towards the 100 world than past 150 world.
He actually just went 3 picks ago in our draft. He went 114. So
that's probably about right. That's probably like 1 to 115 makes a lot of sense. Just because, and he might even, if he has a big week and he's got Coors Field, if he finishes 2020 during this season, he's going to jump even more, because we see those 2020 numbers and it just elevates your fantasy stock in a huge way.
Wonky said her favorite trade of the year was when she got Nolan Jones for Nolan Arenado. It works.
Not bad.
It works. Yeah. Trade of the Nolans, that you can do that. Hey, streamer update. We've been talking a ton, and we're going to talk here in just a second about a few of the streamers you can look for the rest of the week. But the streamer update, it's been pretty good. You guys, like all the guys, not just like, it's not about like, we've given you the best, just like the people that are out there that are streamable that a lot of us are talking about, they are working out. So Michael King, 1 hit over 6 innings against the Blue Jays. That was my number 1 favorite. He was awesome. Bailey Ober shut out the A's over 5 and struck out 8. Reed Detmers had a big performance, 7 strikeouts over 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run against the Rangers. Bobby Miller, 9 strikeouts, 7 innings, 2 runs. Reese Olson gave up 2 runs, only 1 earned in 5 2/3, struck out 7. And then Ryan Pepio, who some were a little bit timid about, but he ends up having another strong performance, giving up 1 run, 5 hits, 6 innings. The streamers have been phenomenal so far. Knock on wood, because tomorrow, 2 of our, Cole Reagans is no longer like even probably available, but some of those pitchers, that we like are still floating out there. But none of those guys that we had are like, I suppose there's a possibility you could get a Sunday start. I don't know, out of all those guys I just mentioned, where you're going to get the Sunday start from and pushing and stuff like that. But pay attention because they've all been really, really good. Like Pepio is one you might possibly
you could get an Olsen potentially in there. That's another one. Shameless plug on yesterday's Bench with Bubba. We went through the Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedules to help you pick up potential streamers and who might pitch, who might not, based on what's available right now.
It's been pretty awesome. So let's talk about some of those real quick. For the rest of the week, Thursday, I went through. There's only one, and it's Sawyer Gipson-Long. That's it. Yep. And unfortunately, he's going up against Cole Reagan. So if you're chasing wins, it's kind of dicey. I think the performance-wise against that offense, it's still good. He's still a strikeout option. He's been relatively consistent. That might be kind of a duel, or it could blow up in our faces. But Gipson-Long was the only Thursday streamer I really saw that I would feel comfortable with. That's actually available, Bubba, because it's a smaller slate.
I'm with you. I'm not taking the chances on some of these other guys that you take your desperate heaves over the weekend if you absolutely need somebody.
But on Friday, I'm going to present a bunch of names to you. First off, we've got Kyle Hendricks at Milwaukee. Yay or nay?
Yep. That's a good one. With you on that
wins, ratios, not strikeouts. That's your chase. Probably going to help your whip. How about this? Chase Silseth. Now, Silseth has been a little bit dicey in some of the performances, but he's starting to go a little bit deeper. And to me, this was a strikeout chase. So versus Oakland, do you like Silseth?
100%. I wrote down a list in case we don't talk about them, and Silseth's towards the top of that list. That strikeout upside when he's on, amazing. You mentioned the struggles of late, but still a phenomenal streaming option.
Yeah, I put him as number 2. Now the next 3 are more questions because I don't think they're certain here. I think Silseth is not certain, but this is kind of like the Sawyer Gipson-Long going against the A's type of thing. And Silseth could have 10 strikeouts. So if I'm chasing strikeouts and I'm not too concerned maybe about him giving up like 2 or 3 earned runs, then I would be slotting him in. Here are these. Yay or nay, Tyler McGill versus Phillies.
It might be a resting Phillies team. It might be your benefit there. I would pick some of these other guys we'll discuss, but if you really, really, really need potential strikeouts, sure.
Okay, so let's just rank them then. You got Tyler McGill versus Philly, Ken Waldichuk versus the Angels, and Ryu versus Tampa Bay. So then how would you rank those for streaming on Friday?
For those 3, I'd go Waldichuk, McGill, Ryu, because Ryu's just been so inconsistent. So I love Waldichuk. I think he's a great option.
Okay, I think it's riskier. I think there's a lot more risk in there, but Waldichuk in that matchup is a little bit better. So those are going to be the options we're probably looking at here.
Can I give you 3 more?
For what day? Friday?
Friday. Potentially.
Okay, yeah, let's hear him.
John Means won't be a lot of strikeouts, but he's getting stretched out, and ratios should be amazing, and they need him to get stretched out for the postseason.
What's the matchup?
Baltimore takes on the Boston Red Sox.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'll take my chances there. I love Alec Marsh for the Royals. They've been using him as a piggyback role. He still goes about 5 innings, gets your strikeouts, been picked up wins in 3 straight outings, gets a depleted Yankees team.
Okay.
So that's a fun one. And then Nick Martinez of the Padres has been much better over his last few when he gets the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, I like that one. Okay, because I'm not in love with those other ones. I think there's a lot more risk in play, especially because that's a Friday with like 2 other days to go in your season. That Nick Martinez one I like a lot, and we're going to pick on the White Sox here in just a tiny bit. So yes, I am about that one. Last thing on the pitching side here, did you see George Kirby get hit by a baseball?
I did not. I saw this on the
Somebody
outlet.
threw a ball. Someone in the stands threw a ball and it hit him.
Kick him out of the league. Kick him out of the league.
I feel bad for him. And the replay video I saw too, it was just, I think it was like Ty Francis picked up the ball and threw it in the stands. And it's like, don't throw the ball back.
Yeah, don't give it back to the monsters. And it's the worst part, it's in Seattle.
And he was like standing on the mound. I mean, I can't, with our layouts, I can't like pull up the videos here, but he was just like sitting there holding the ball, kind of getting ready. And I want to just look at it again. And then he just gets whacked and he just kind of looks around. Yeah. So I'm watching the replay here. And yeah. So sorry, this is bad. But he's doing this. He's got his hands up with a glove and he's like, hey, I need a new baseball. And a ball just whaps him in the stomach, right in the tummy.
You got in the tummy?
Yeah, he got tummy whapped. And I've never seen
funny
before. And he looks around and then they're just like, here you go. Here's the ball. So what a weird season and weird thing for Kirby. And
insane.
Yeah, it was odd baseball time. Let's talk about some injuries. Luis Robert going to the IL with an MCL sprain. Good season, over 145 games, 38 homers, 20 stolen bases. Probably going to be a very, very well-liked second-round pick in my mind on the back end of the second round. But, 145 games for Luis Robert is like him playing 185.
Exactly. I was actually shocked when I saw 145 next to his name. I'm like, oh, wow, more than I expected.
It's pretty good. Corey Seager, but he's out for the year, so that's not good. Corey Seager left Tuesday's game after being hit by a pitch on the forearm. X-rays were negative. I don't know. We're at the point where I'm not sure you just even come back with, especially.
Well, the Rangers are fighting for postseason.
Yeah, I suppose you're right with it being negative, but dude, he has just had like left and right. That's a weird one.
It's a typical Corey Seager season. That's why I always had trouble drafting him. I know how good he is, but man, he makes you wear it.
You see Wonka, he said, Welsh needs a tummy whap segment next year when he talks about and we could get like we could have a song that's similar to WAP. Do like that.
The other song. Yeah, I got you. I had another joke I was going to make, but this is a PC show. So
it's PC show. It's fine. But we're going to have the tummy whap segment for sure. Aaron Judge is not going to need offseason surgery on his knee. So that's a good positive sign if everybody's paying attention to that. Chas McCormick was helped off the field after a 99-mile-per-hour fastball hit him on the back. So I don't care where it hits you.
Watch that video. He collapses like it was nasty.
Really?
Just 99 mile an hour straight to like the bottom of the middle of the numbers of the back right there, right on the spine. Just boom.
Every time, every hit, I'm like, oh, every cringe. I feel like getting hit by a baseball is like a tattoo where it's like it always hurts, but there's like a few places that don't hurt quite as much. And 100%. Then there's a couple that are like the worst. And I feel like the same places where the tattoo hurts, that's where the ball hurts the most, where it's Makes like sense. On your spine and you're just like, oh my God, something like that. But I don't know if it hurts like to get the inside of your wrist hit by the ball. I don't think that might be the only tattoo Makes ball sense. Difference. Yeah. But you guys let me know. I forgot to tell you, we do have a Corbin Carroll Welsh. The
final one?
The final one of the season.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going to give you guys the hint. The final one of the season, the tip. Where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll coming up here in like 5 minutes? Home. The guess is home. It's not as easy as you think. Home is your guess. Where are we? You'll be able to find out here in just a tiny bit. 3 up and 3 down. Seth Lugo, 8 2/3, struck out 7, giving up no earned runs. There's just a great pickup on the back half of the year. He's been Josiah Gray, went 6, struck out 7, gave up 1 earned run. If you were chasing some stolen bases, Will Benson didn't do a bunch, but he did steal 2 yesterday. So pay attention to him for the rest of the year. On the down, Hunter Green, 3 innings, 7 earned runs as he can do on either side. Lucas Giolito has been a regular mainstay of this list. 3 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs, walked 5. And we had Ke'Bryan Hayes and Lawrence Butler both go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's not super great, Bubba. What is great is PrizePicks. PrizePicks promo code leading off, like I said at the top of the show, 100% match up to $100. They have supported us all season long. I hope you guys have checked them out because they don't end when baseball ends. It's year round because they cover lots of sports. So go and check them out today. Deposit and start preparing for next year. Get that account locked up and you can do some more with us. PrizePicks promo code leading off. Bubba, what are you doing on the PrizePicks today?
Kyle Schwarber over half a total base. I'll take my chances there. Usually they're walks, but maybe he runs into one in a friendly matchup. Muncy over 1.5 total bases in Coors Field seems too good to be true. So I like that one a lot. And then Tariq Skubal over 6.5 Ks versus the Royals. Skubal has been nothing short of amazing this season. K to walk of nearly 32% over the last 30 days. The only pitcher with one over 30%. I'll take my chances with Skubal.
I agree with you on Skubal because I have a strikeout combo, but I'm not going to give it a name. Let's just say it's a strikeout combo today. When I give my cute little names, I don't think we need to do a strikeout cute little name thing, if you know where I'm going with this. Because I'm going to go with Skubal strikeouts, Skubal Ks on the up. I'm going to go with Brandon Pfaadt Ks on the up at 5.5. And I'm going to go with Joey Estes and Pablo Lopez, 12.5 strikeouts on the down. So under. So that is my K prop for the 3 sides. Again, Estes, Lopez under, Skubal, Pfaadt over. That is my trendy little prize picks today. And going over to the bets, The bet I teased is Brandon Pfaadt strikeouts today. I looked at it 30 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. It was 5.5 plus 125. Then the news came out, which, by the way, the White Sox, with their current construction, were striking out all bunch of righties, striking out a bunch. But then we got where not only is Luis Robert out, but Tim Anderson was sitting, and I'm completely forgetting the other person. I don't know if it was Andrew Vaughn, but there was another big bat sitting today. That number went from plus 125 to minus 105 on DraftKings. But I did find a book that not only did I also have a little extra boost that had it at plus 115. That would be MGM. So I took that bet. I bet it. It is on the Betting Pros app. Got the hat right here. Download the Betting Pros app if you want. We've had the leading off group all season long. 200 plus people. We're tracking all the bets, and I put my bet in. Brandon Pfaadt. That game starts in about an hour and a half as we're recording this. Brandon Pfaadt strikeouts 5.5 over. As well, I am going with the Detroit Tigers through the first 5 innings being up a run. That's kind of a Tariq Skubal play. And Minnesota just straight run line, minus 1.5, minus 125. So up by 2 runs through the whole game up against the A's. So I kind of paired all my pieces together. Those are my bets. What about DFS today?
Well, my bets for the day, I'm going to have some fun with some RBI props. We're going to have Nolan Jones at plus 150 over half an RBI, Christopher Morel over half an RBI at plus 175, and Matt Olson over half an RBI at plus 135. I think those are fun plus money bets.
I didn't even ask you your bets. I'm sorry. I was like, what's on DFS? For some reason, I thought you went, but I just transitioned into
but it. I did the RBI ones. I thought there was some interesting value there in the plus money world. So have some fun with some props.
I like that.
Day. DFS, though, it's a 9-game slate. Pablo Lopez is expensive. He's 11.4K against the Oakland Athletics. Probably worth it. And if you want some value, Dane Dunning at the Angels at 7.8K. Wade Miley versus the Cardinals at 7.4K. If Johan Oviedo somehow gets put in the player pool, I like him as well as a discounted play. Pitching is not great on this slate. So on slates like that, I usually punt pitching and pay for bats. Speaking of bats, Minnesota versus Estes of the A's. So stack your Twins. Stack your Dodgers and Coors once again against Nate Davis. That's a great spot. And stack the Cubs versus Darius Vines, who's making a spot start for the Braves. So those are all great spots. Braves have a hangover game ahead of them. And then if you want some value, Marco Luciano's playing every day and looks pretty good up there at the plate. 2.9K versus Waldron. And then Tyrone Taylor is a great value at 2.9K versus the lefty Zach Thompson.
All right, so the guess, where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll? There are some doozy guesses here. The one that made me laugh the most, what did we even talk about? Mar-a-Lago? What are we talking about here? We saw Grand Canyon in here. Well, let's set the stage for one fun. I'm going to have a little montage video, I think. But where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll today? The guess is home. Lots of Grand Canyons in here. I get the guess circling back around. That makes a whole lot of sense. Milwaukee, that's not my home. I don't know where we're going here. Joey P's house by Sabo. These are very good guesses. Do you have a guess though, Bubba? It's a very ambiguous one. I'm saying home.
Well, Corbin Carroll from the Seattle area. Were you giving tummy taps to George Kirby?
Tummy waps, not tummy taps. Tummy taps.
Are you playing tummy sticks with Corbin?
Oh, Bubba, it's the end of the season. Tummy taps, tummy waps. Tummy waps are when you get hit from the stands, not whatever you're thinking. What is wrong with you? No, you dirtbag. It's not that. It's not Seattle. There's not tummy wap taps, any of that stuff. Where is home, everybody? It's right here at FantasyPros. We're at the FantasyPros main office. Look at us. We're so happy. We got the logo back there. We're at corporate headquarters of FantasyPros, where FantasyPros has been nice enough to have me all season long. Carol, because of me, has been here all season long. And you guys, come on, guys. This is home, not tell me what any of that nonsense. Nobody got it.
I might not be going home anytime soon. So
you might not be back at the office. That might have been the last time you see the Fantasy Pros home office was right there. Coming up on Friday, we will have the season finale of all of that. I got to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm going to track. I've seen a couple people that have gotten multiple. I might spin a wheel or something like that for giving away a card, which is just my little fun thing. So thank you guys for having fun. That's why the Peanuts are Cracker Jacks. The audience of this show is the greatest. And check this out, Bubba. I have been setting the stage that this home run contest was going to pretty much be over. It ain't over. Look at this at the top. We have
a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. With 5 days left to go, JJ Tater has moved within 2 home runs of Blue Harvester. The board is 60 for Harvester, 58 for JJ Tater. We now have 6 people on the 50 home run mark, which is insane. We've got Razor Ramon, who is 5 back. I don't want to say that Razor Ramon, Bobby Good, and R. Hoffman are out. They're kind of out. Maybe they'll come back. But JJ Tater and Blue Harvester are going to make this a race. That is exciting. Wonky has been awesome at 49. I think I just got my 45th with Marcus Simeon on Monday. But the race is a-moving, and it's going to be very, very good. So who are you going for your home run call today?
Yeah, I'm going to Coors Field. Give me Freddie Freeman in a phenomenal matchup. Seems too fun.
I like how you say it. I'm going to go with Coors Field too, and I'm going to go with Mookie Betts for Coors. We're both going for the Dodgers because why not? Why would you not for the next couple days? Coming up on Friday, the season finale of Fantasy Pros, the live broadcast that we do right here on the YouTube channel. And Joe Pisapia is confirmed. He is confirmed to pop in. So we will see Joe there for a little bit. We're going to be doing a fantasy ward season. We'll talk, obviously, we'll give you some streamers at the very top and stuff for the weekend, but we'll also be talking about some of our favorite players from the fantasy aspect, probably at the top end. We'll get Joe to pop in here. We'll have a grand old time as we kind of end out the regular season, and we'll tell you what's in store for the off season. Hopefully I can be doing lots of great stuff. And that is it. That is all that we have there. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you to the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. Thank you to Bubba on Twitter at BDintric. You can find me at Is It The Welsh, and we will talk to you on Friday for the season finale of Leading Off. Goodbye, friends. Ba-ba-ba.